right, what's up, y'all? So my name is Michael DeLu. Today is episode 86 of Pull Up the Tape. It is also Friday, August 8th. I'm really, really excited to be doing today's podcast. I'm always excited to be recording a podcast. It doesn't get any more happier for me than when I'm doing this. I love this. Y'all remember that clip of Ron Artest where he was on the tail end of his career? He was like, "I love basketball. I love recording this podcast. I love recording this podcast." And you know what? I got a lot to talk about today. I'm revealing my All-NBA selections. But before I do that, I have a lot of bad news for Philadelphia 76ers fans, okay? And I feel like what I'm about to discuss is going to be a forecast of what is to come in the future. All right, so last night they lost to the Toronto Raptors 115 to, let me see, hold on. They lost I think it's either 115 or 114 to 119, all right? And the biggest thing from that whole situation is it just there was a lot of big things, but I'm gonna just list the biggest takeaways. Last night lost as I was watching the highlights and analyzing the game and watching post game interviews and reporters give their takes. Man, honestly, it just seems like the Sixers it's quite obvious. Look. The Sixers are either headed for a first-round exit or a second-round exit. One of the two. I honestly cannot. Oh, Michael, you might be overreacting, but no. I honestly cannot see a situation where the Sixers make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not happening. I don't think it's just not going to work. Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid is not the problem. Joel Embiid last night poured in 30 and 10. James Harden had 13 points and 15 assists, but which is a decent stat line, but he shot 3 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and that's honestly just not going to cut it. Like, that's not going to cut it whatsoever. The Sixers didn't mortgage off their fucking future and trade Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and multiple first-round picks to get, like, lackluster production. And, the most discouraging thing about this isn't just a one-game thing. This isn't a one-off situation or a one-off thing. James Harden has been playing bad basketball for the past 10 games. Like, honestly, he hasn't been aggressive. He hasn't found his shot. There's a lot of things to take away from this shit. And one of them being maybe this whole pairing with him and Joel Embiid is just not even going to end up working in the long run because he doesn't look like he's gelled with him. It doesn't look like he's found his form. Like, okay, I'm gonna throw out his stats. His stats in Brooklyn and then his stats with the Sixers. So in Brooklyn, he averaged 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists, shot 41% from the field and 33% from three. Since he's got to the Sixers, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 40% from the field and 30% from three. Every single metric has dipped beside rebounds. He's averaging 2 less points, 1 less assist, shooting 1% less efficient from the field and 3% less efficient from three. And peep this. The last 4 games he's played, he hasn't made more than 4 shots. The last time James Harden made double-digit shots was in fucking January. And last I checked, I feel like in January he was still on the Nets. So There's 3 ways you can look at it. Either he's not gelling well with Joel Embiid, he's declining as a player, or he just doesn't have it. I don't know. Each of the 3 is very, very discouraging and very, very disappointing because, man, and on top of that, he's a free agent at the end of the season. James Harden is a free agent at the end of this season. And it's just really, really I don't know. The Sixers front office are going to be in a really, really tight situation because obviously he's going to ask for max money, but truthfully, I don't think James Harden is a max player anymore. I don't think James Harden is a max player anymore. The whole notion that, I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just telling you what the eye test is showing me. The eye test is showing me that James Harden does not have it anymore. And like I said, if the season were to end today, the Sixers are going to play the Toronto Nets. I mean, Toronto Nets, the Toronto Raptors. I could see a situation where where that series goes 7 games. Like it's not a guarantee. I feel like the Sixers will win. I don't see it as a guarantee. Crazy thing is, yesterday, the Toronto Raptors won. Guess who they didn't have? They didn't have Fred VanVleet. Arguably their best player. They did not have Fred VanVleet. So, in watching that, I'm just very discouraging. And I don't want to say it as like, oh, they didn't have this guy. That means blah blah blah. Like, no, I understand it. The Sixers also didn't have Matisse Thybulle, but I mean, he's not as important as Fred VanVleet is to the Raptors. Okay, so Fred VanVleet was an all-star this year. I can't see a situation where Matisse Thybulle will ever be an all-star. Not in this life. No, I don't want to say not in this lifetime, but you know, I personally feel like it's highly unlikely. You guys can let me know if you disagree, but I don't know. And personally with the Sixers, it looked good the first couple games, but now it just seems like it's not working. They don't have any chemistry with each other. And I just feel like they probably, I don't know, might have got desperate and just traded. I don't know. But I mean, the whole Ben Simmons situation, I mean, they had to get rid of him. So I understand why they were so eager to trade him, but it just doesn't seem like it's working. And the biggest thing that seems to be that seems like that needs to be addressed is just the fact that at this point in the season, you're getting ready for the playoffs. You're gearing up for the playoffs for hopefully what is a championship run. Even though I personally do not feel like the Sixers are going to win anything. You can quote me on this. Sixers aren't winning shit. Either going to get bounced in the first round or bounced in the second round. If they get bounced in the first round, I would not be surprised. But I know for a fact, if they make it out the second round, they're getting bounced in the Nets will beat them. I'm just list the potential teams they're going to play in the second round. Let me guess. It's either going to be the Bucks, they'll lose to them, the Heat, they will lose to them, and the Celtics. All those teams will beat the shit out of the Sixers. Sixers are not a complete team. Honestly, the Sixers gave up weight. Man, it is what it is, honestly. But this is why I hope, I'm gonna say this is gonna be the last thing I say. I hope in 1 month. Not even 1 month. In 3 weeks, I don't have to fry James Harden the same way I had to fry Kyle Kuzma like I did last year. I sincerely hope, because I like James Harden. You feel me? James Harden, he be with all the real niggas. Dirk, Baby, Meek. He was with Nip, Bino. All money in. He's left-handed. He's from Los Angeles. He went to Arizona State University. Forks up. I went there. I want to root for James Harden. I like James Harden. He just has to, man. But anyways, so the season is ending, and I wanted to get into my All-NBA selections. I'm going to start off with third team, then the second team, then the first team, and then I'm going to wrap up today's podcast. It's going to be done just like that. So the first selection on the third team, we got Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. This season, he averaged 28 points, 9 assists. He was third in assists, and he was selected to his second straight All-Star selection. Props to Trae Young. He balled out this season. Hopefully the Atlanta Hawks make it into the playoffs, and they could do some damage. As of right now, they're slated into play, and I think they will play the Brooklyn Nets. So we'll see how that's going to turn out, because the play-in starts on Tuesday in a couple days, so I'm really, really excited about that. Next up, we got Donovan Mitchell, 26 points, 5 assists, and he was selected to his third straight All-Star game. He has his Utah Jazz, if I'm not mistaken, as the 5th seed in the West right now. Next, but definitely not least, we got DeMar DeRozan, 28 points, five rebounds, 5 assists. His first All-Star game selection in 4 years and the best scoring output of his career. And I specifically want to highlight DeMar DeRozan because, oh my God, when DeMar DeRozan was signed with the Chicago Bulls, I read report after report after report after report that this was the worst signing of the offseason. Literally, so many people called it the worst signing of the offseason. And DeMar DeRozan did nothing but prove that wrong. There was a point in the NBA where DeMar DeRozan went off for 35 points, 10 games in a row. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan, man, for rewriting the script on his career. I personally don't even see the Bulls getting out the first round, but nevertheless, it was a pleasure to watch DeMar operate. If I off the top of my head, I think I can remember like 3 or 4 game winners that he hit this season. So shout out to DeMar. Jimmy Butler, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, was selected to his 6th All-Star game this year, led the Miami Heat to the best record in the East, best player on the best team in the East, record-wise. So shout out to Jimmy Butler. Karl Anthony Towns, 24 points, 10 rebounds, first All-Star game in 3 years, has his team slated in the play-in. So, I mean, I personally don't see them making the actual playoffs, but can't deny he was a top 3 center in the league, and that's why he was selected. He made it to the third team. All right, so I'm gonna move on to the second team. Wardell Stephen Curry the second, 25 points, 6 assists, another All-Star game, led Golden State to the third seed in the West. At the top of the year, they had the top record in the NBA until the injury bug hit them. Nevertheless, he still balled out. And also shout out to Stephen Curry again because he was able to pass Ray Allen for the most 3-pointers in NBA history this season at Madison Square Garden. If my memory serves correct, I think it was December 15. It was December something. All right. Next up, Ja Morant, 27 points and 6 assists. 27 points and 6 assists. 7th in scoring and 27 points and 6 assists. He's 7th in scoring, and why I'm giving him the second place, second team nod, and the nod over Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell is the fact that he led Memphis to the 2nd seed in the West and secured his first of many All-Star games. Okay, Ja Morant is a fucking dog and him. Okay, look, I challenge anyone. If you can provide proof that you had the Memphis Grizzlies finishing as a top 4 seed in the West, as a top 4, I will give you $500. Hey, send this to anyone. If they can prove that they had the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm not even going to say second, a top 4 seed. So if you had them as first, second, third, or fourth, I will personally give you $500. Okay, but I doubt anyone could do that because I don't think anyone had Memphis finishing this high, and which is so amazing because they're the surprise and the feel good story of this season in the NBA. I don't think I don't. It's just very, very shocking to see what the Memphis Grizzlies were able to do this season, and Ja Morant was the leader and held shit down for them. Posters on posters, buckets on buckets, dimes on dimes. Ja Morant is a nigga. LeBron James, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, almost won the scoring title. Probably would have made the first team if not for injuries. 19th season in the league. Next year will be his 20th. Everything LeBron did this year was just history in the making, honestly. Kevin Durant, 29 points, 29 points, 7th in points, 6 assists, and, just like LeBron James, if not for the injuries, would have made the first team. Joel Embiid, 30 points, 11 rebounds, MVP candidate, and possible scoring champion. Pretty much carried the Sixers for the majority of this season without Ben Simmons, so he gets second team center. First team obviously is Nikola Jokic. And the only reason why I have Nikola Jokic ahead of him is because Nikola Jokic played 7 more games than Joel Embiid and put up monster numbers just like Embiid, but I got to give it, and they have a better record than the Sixers. Nikola Jokic, 27 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, another MVP season, scoring title, and like I said, and he could possibly win the scoring title, and as I said before, he played 7 more games than Embiid. I just wanted to address the whole center situation before I moved on to the first team. Now, the first team All-NBA, 5 of the baddest niggas on the planet. Luka Doncic, 28 points, 8 assists, was 5th in assists, and top 10 in scoring. The best point guard this season, period. Devin Booker, 27 points, 5 assists, led the Suns to the best record in the NBA and the best record in team history. Buckets on buckets on buckets. Devin Booker is a nigga. Jason Tatum, 27 points, 8 rebounds, his 3rd straight All-Star game. And since the start of the year, oh my God, has just been cooking. Buckets on buckets on buckets. Giannis, Shina, Ugo, Antetokounmpo, okay? 30 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, another MVP caliber season, possible scoring title, and the best player in the NBA, all right? And that wraps up my 3 All-NBA teams. I don't give a fuck about the defensive teams. Don't care. Never cared. Probably never will care. And that's honestly going to wrap up episode 86 of Pull Up the Tape. My name is Michael DeLu. I just want to thank everybody that's supporting me, everybody who has supported me. I want to shout out to all the people who are interactive with my last video. I got the most likes. I think some of the most likes on my podcast on an episode I've gotten in a very, very long time. With that being said, viral movie, bow, shake the fucking room. Long live Nip. May the marathon continue. Long live Pop. Long live Kobe. Long live Gigi. And long live my brother Abdul. I love you, bro. All right. With that being said, I'm out this hoe. Bow. Baby girl, can we meet the woo? Woo! Oh, yeah. And free Chef G.